stop getting avocado toast, stop buying lattes. That must be the reason why you can't afford a home, right? Wrong. Actually, one of the biggest lies about personal finance. The reality is that the economic game has changed. Your parents could afford a home for 3 times their annual salary. Right now, across many European cities, that is rather 10 to 15 times. So, what happened? Today, I'm going to show you the data behind the generational gap that has been created over the past decades and exactly how much home you can actually afford. Hello, fellow wealth seekers! So why does it feel impossible to catch up in today's economy? Let's look at the numbers. Germany, France, the UK, the story is the same. Adjusted for inflation, real wages have not evolved since 4 decades. Basically, the average person has the same real purchase power than 35 years ago. This is quite staggering. Conversely, assets, stocks, homes, equities, all these prices have exploded. And equally important is to own these assets in order to integrate your pension effectively. If you don't, you fall behind. 40 years ago, the story was quite sweet. You bought a house, pretty cheap, 15 years to pay it off, and then started to save or invest for the following years. Now, the down payment alone wipes out up to a decade of savings. Also, the mortgage generally eats up 40 to 50% of your disposable income, and you're essentially forced to either focus on a mortgage for a house you really want up to 30 years and have 0 in pension and ETF, or rent for life and have enough for your regular investments. Reality is that social pressure generally forces us to go for option 1, but in 2026, option 2 is often the winner. Does that mean that you can never buy? Not really, but you should buy smart. What I like to use as a compass is the 30-30-3 rule. That can be also a little bit bent, but let's go through it. 30% is the max amount of your monthly income that should go into mortgage, tax, insurance, maintenance, all the housing costs. I'm willing to stretch it up to 35%, but should not really exceed that. Another 30 means 30% cash. That is what you're supposed to have compared to the house value in order to pay the down payment and have a cash buffer. If you can't afford it and you're left with 0 liquidity, it is honestly a bad move. And 3 stands for how many times of your income should the house cost? Ideally, 3x. Willing to stretch it to 4 or 5x, but this essentially rules out cities like Munich and London, where it is impossible to find that, even with decent incomes. So that basically means the market is quite overpriced to start with, and you'd better find what is right for you after a thorough search. And if you realize that you're failing while calculating your 30-33 rule parameters, you are still able to rent and invest. Think of a mortgage payer that has 2.5k blocked every single month off their salary. A renter most likely will have 1.5k for a similar property. So what do? They invest that 1k difference. And at an average net return, as we always account for at the lab, this is often overtaking the wealth. So you are not throwing money away. You are building patience and resilience. The game is harder than it was. There's no way around it. Asset rich, cash poor, rent, buy. Do not rush into buying a house just because your parents did. Run the numbers for yourself. Meditate over the decision. Carefully consider your options. I actually built a template for you that calculates average prices and compares that to your own stats. I want to make sure we start 2026 strong. First, Everyone who subscribes and leaves a comment under any of my videos will receive my free top 5 investment strategies for 2026. Simply post a comment and I'll drop the link. Secondly, I will be tracking the most active members of the community. So the ones that leave the most likes and meaningful comments will receive a free copy of one of my favorite finance books of all time, The Psychology of Money from Morgan Housel. So drop a comment, subscribe, and let's get your money right. And if you want an even deeper dive on the subject, I recently made a video with the ultimate comparison between renting and buying, also with a free template for you. Watch it over here. Till the next session, European Wealth Lab out.